Hey everybody, and Tony here with a review of Rossini Semiramide, which was live a few days ago from the Metropolitan Opera House. I was really excited to listen to this particular radio transmission because of the star-studded cast consisting of Angela Meade as Semiramide, Elizabeth DeShong as Arsace, Javier Camarena as Idreno, and Ildar Abdrazakov as Assur. So let's not waste any time and talk about the singers right now, starting off with Angela Meade as Semiramide. Now, there is no doubt that Angela Meade is definitely one of the true examples of a dramatic coloratura soprano. And while I thought she was able to throw herself so effectively into this role, with giving her some high notes and of course tackling the coloratura to the best of her abilities, and even that high E, which she interpolated so well in Beiraggio Lusingier. Her voice is admittedly rough around the edges on some occasions. Yes, I would have loved to have a smoother, more focused voice, like let's say Joan Sutherland, or even that of Rita Shane, but I still have to give Madame Meade a lot of credit for everything she was able to accomplish as Semiramide. She was able to be so convincing as this queen, as she was able to show endurance, strength, and a lot of toughness in everything she accomplished. So even though there were times in which her tone was rather strident on some occasions, I still have to give her a lot of credit for singing this role to the best of her abilities. And I also have to give her a lot of kudos as she was able to pull off this role so well. Then we have Elizabeth DeShong, a lyric mezzo whose career I've been following ever since I was a teenager. I first heard about Elizabeth DeShong by name only, as she specialized in a lot of the character parts like the page boy from Salome and even Tsutsuki from Madama Butterfly. And I was really excited to hear what her voice would sound like as Arsace, and I was not disappointed in the slightest. Her voice was extremely focused. It was clean all throughout the registers, and everything she did exceptionally. It was a palpable instrument which she was able to take exceptional control of. And I also loved her rendition of A quel giorno ognoramento, as she was able to navigate both the lower tessitura and even the high tessitura so effectively. And of course, that final high B before she wrapped up the entire aria was really well sung. She was able to sing her high notes with such a great and pristine attack, and of course, her low notes were full and rich. A lot of people state that she is basically the next Marilyn Horne, as she has such a pristine coloratura technique, and of course, the homogeneousness found in her voice was flawless all the way through. And let's not forget about Angela Meade's and Elizabeth DeShong's duet, in which they were able to sing like seraphims. And for that, I salute their collaborative efforts. Javier Camarena was exciting, virile, and thrilling as Idreno. What more can I say about Senor Camarena in terms of his singing and style? He was able to throw himself into this role so effectively that there were times that my jaw dropped with everything he accomplished and everything he did as a wonderfully flawless singing actor. He had his trademark, pristine, and absolutely sterling technique, which he was able to use to the greatest of his abilities, and he just oozed with fortitude, nobility, and a stalwart presence, which made him all the more involving as an exceptional bel canto interpreter. Ildar Abdrazakov was virile and handsome as Assur, and he was able to make fine use of his basso cantante voice to give a lot of life to this prince. And he also oozed with masculinity as he was able to sing his mad scene with not only great depth and pathos, but also a lot of determination, virility, and toughness. So what more can I say about Signore Abdrazakov? He was absolutely sterling in everything he did as Assur, and for that, I salute him. Ryan Speedo Green was equally as virile, but also sonorous and absolutely authoritative as Oroe, with his booming, grand, and rich basso cantante voice, which has all the capabilities of being a true basso profondo, all thanks to that fullness and richness that he has. I can definitely tell that this basso is on the cusp of a magnificent future. He definitely knew how to give this part a lot of authority and a lot of might, and for that, his efforts were extremely laudable, as he was able to steal the show in this particular role. Jeremy Gallion was commanding and strong as the ghost of Nino, and this was a gentleman who I initially heard as Alessio from a production of La Sonambula starring Nathalie Doucet and Juan Diego Flores, also at the Metropolitan Opera House. It's safe to say that he is also on the verge of more leading roles, all thanks to the authority and the strength he has in that basso cantante voice. We also had such equally gorgeous singing found in Kang Wang's fine, handsome, and lyrical Mitrane, and Sarah Schaefer's absolutely youthful, lovely, and silvery Atsema. So overall, the singing was absolutely amazing, with each and every singer giving his or her efforts to the best of his or her abilities. I can definitely tell that this was a handsome collaborative effort from everyone, but I really have to give it to Elizabeth DeShong for stealing the show as Arsace, as she was able to have such a sterling technique and also loads of charisma to make this character come alive. And the conducting done by Maurizio Benigni was good all the way through. He was able to give the right amount of pizzazz and the right amount of solemnity to the score, and he handled it so well. And of course, the chorus and orchestra of the Metropolitan Opera House were absolutely amazing. So overall, with such great singing found not only in Angela Meade, Elizabeth DeShong, Javier Camarena, and Ildar Abdrazakov, but also Ryan Speedo Green, Jeremy Gallion, Kang Wang, and Sarah Schaefer, and equally fine conducting by Maurizio Benigni, I can definitely attest that this radio transmission of Rossini's Semiramide is a definite must-listen. Whether you're a fan of Angela Meade, Elizabeth DeShong, Javier Camarena, or even Ildar Abdrazakov, I can definitely guarantee that this is an absolute treat. And for those of you who listen to this particular radio transmission of Rossini's Semiramide, live from the Metropolitan Opera House, what did you think of it? Did you feel like Angela Meade stole the show as the titular queen? Did you feel like Elizabeth DeShong stole her thunder, or even that of Javier Camarena or Ildar Abdrazakov? Or did you feel like there was someone from the cast that stuck out like a sore thumb? Comment below and let me know. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to tune in next Saturday for my review of Richard Strauss's Elektra, also live from the Metropolitan Opera House, starring Christine Goerke, Elsa van den Hever, and Michaela Schuster. So until then, good night, everybody.